Did it?
Awesome. So, hi everyone. It's Shelley here with an amazing bunch of people. And we're actually doing part two of the wellness evaluation training. So, the first part was actually about how to generate inquiries and get people booked in and what to say to them. This is all about the next part that when they come into the center or your home or you go to their house or you have somewhere else that you're booking them into, whatever it might be, this is what it's going to be for. So, just for the sake of how we do it at the centre. Thank you, Shauna, for this great photo. You can kind of see how the table's set up, that you've got your clipboard for the person with their black and white form here to things. We've got plenty of pens, some before and after photos, an information pack, and then the wellness evaluation coloured one and things, and maybe a few props as you're talking to people. So that's kind of a nice setup for the table when someone's about to walk in for their evaluation. Now, you could have it differently. You could have it in a folder ready to go, or if you're traveling somewhere, you can just have it all in plastic pockets or a folder ready to go so that you can whip it all out no matter where you are. So, when I first got started, when I was living in Adelaide and I was in my 20s and 30s, they didn't have body scan scales, but I would be going to people's houses similar. I'd have before and after photos. I would have a program and I would go in and I would do my presentation. So that's pretty much how I did it. And I actually quite enjoyed doing that because I got to meet lots of family members and, really see how they lived. So, I'd end up looking in their fridges and cupboards, see what they were eating. And it was kind of actually really good because I got this really strong connection. I got so many referrals. One family gave me like 16 referrals and another white person gave me like 22 referrals just because I was going to their house. I even got invited to their wedding. So there was a Greek and Italian family. I'd come home with bowls of polenta and all sorts of things. And it was just really cool having that kind of, and in fact, I'm still friends with a lot of those people today. So let's get on with the training. So here's the checklist. So for someone brand new, looking at what am I going to need, a couple of clipboards. If you're double booking, getting a husband and wife, friends, sisters, mums and daughters come in, maybe you're going to need two. Make sure you've got plenty of pens because sometimes they run out. Your black and white body composition scan sheets, you're going to need those. That is in a Word document, so you can put your name and number on the bottom of those if you need to. And then the laminated body scan results, which you would have seen up here, this one here, this coloured one. You have a laminated one so you can sit and go through it with the person. I put it side by side next to the black and white copy. A coloured body scan copy to fill out. Now, if you're doing it with two people, one person can be filling it out while you're going along, and sometimes that saves time, but if you're doing it all by yourself, you'll be filling it out on your own. And then the information pack, this is what's in it. So I'll come up with a checklist and what's in your information pack so that you've got it. Now, I was just saying to Cheryl earlier, that if you say just for printing's sake, if you don't have a great printer or you don't want lots of pieces of paper, you don't know how to double-sided photocopy, all those sort of things, you could leave off the targeted products and the referrals and you could drip feed it as you're going along. So for example, you did the evaluation, you're given the mini version, and then a couple of days later you could be emailing it to them, these extra things. So you could do it that way. You could stagger the information if you wanted to. Definitely a couple of body scan vouchers so that you're inviting those referrals. The referrals are a really big part of this presentation. A program on display or one to sell. If you've only got empties and you've got to build up your stock, no problems. Just do what you can do. A receipt book. So you're ready. Make sure you've got your bank details all ready as well. And so that you're expecting them to pay and you want to be able to say you can pay cash, PayPal, into my bank account, pay by credit card, whatever it might be. You need to be ready for that. Some products to sample if you've only got one product. So if you only had a Formula One Sport or you had one Herbie beverage or one aloe, you would choose what you want to sample. You just direct it. You can sample all three or you can just do one. Make sure you've got a price list, and I'm just going to move this toolbar up here. And your results or other people's before and after results on display are very, very effective as well. Like, I really like seeing before and afters, and I think it's quite inspiring for people. So you can share your story, obviously, on the cover letter of the information pack as well, and we'll go through that shortly. Next one. So when the person arrives, sometimes if you're like, I was always very shy, so I would sometimes find it hard. Yeah, like it depends. Like sometimes I'll click with someone and it flows, and other times it can be a little bit awkward because they might be anxious or whatever it might be. So you've kind of got to roll with it. And I always just say, hi, welcome, especially if I remember their name, welcome, Cheryl. This is our center. Thank you so much for coming in. Come and sit down here. Or I might just go, oh, have you been in here before? Like I might just do a little bit of small talk just to make them feel comfortable. I might introduce them to someone. If I've got Shauna or Megan or anyone else there, I'd be introducing them to that person. And saying, hey, this is where you'll be sitting, and here's your body scan form to fill out. And I might just say, oh, have you always lived in Gibby? Just depends on how it flows. I'm not going to like rapid fire questions at them, just depending on the person. Because sometimes you'll talk about other things. Oh, I didn't know this was here, or yeah, whatever it might be. And if they're coming to your house, the same sort of thing. Oh, yes, I've been doing this for a long time, and I've lived in this area for ages, and you can have a bit of a chat about that. Oh, I'm new to the area. Oh, fantastic. Where did you come from? And do a little bit of that. So you show them the form, and I always say, hey, the more information you can give me, the better. There's no wrong answers. Just fill out what you can. And if you get stuck on anything, let me know. And then I just give them a little bit of time to settle. And then I'll just might fluffle around with my papers while I'm doing something else, just so that, they're looking at the form. Now, if they've forgotten their glasses or they're not very good at filling, I've had some people that actually had trouble writing. So I've actually said, hey, would you like me to do that for you? And I've just asked them the questions, and I filled out the form for them. That is okay too. So, and in fact, you might even find you like that better. Hey, I'm going to fill this out for you and make sure I've got it. So you can kind of choose how you do it, long as it feels right for you. And then I say part of our evaluation is you get to try some samples. And I'm always like really excited about this. You get to try some samples, yay! And today we've got our popular fat burning energy beverage in peach. So if you only had peach, that's all you're going to tell them about. It's great for cravings. It's one of my favorite things. I always say I've been drinking it for 33 years. You can say it's my favorite. It's got high quality antioxidants. You can have it hot or cold. How would you like to have it? So I'm not saying would you like to have it. I'm saying how you're having one. You're having it hot or cold. So unless someone's allergic to something, oh, I can't have blah blah blah. It's okay. I've had someone that was allergic to aloe. Great, you can't have that, but you can have everything else. So, or if I've got an aloe or whatever it might be. So you just set up the thing. Now, if you're doing it all by yourself, you'll have to, while they're filling out the form, you go off and make the sample. I know probably on Saturday when Megan and I are actually at a venue, so we're going to be at a hall or a complex thing, we may even have things pre-made so we can just pour them. We'll just see how we go with that. So you can pre-make them if you're at a coffee shop or at the RSL club or whatever you're doing, or even if you're going to someone else's house. But sometimes it's nice to say, hey, go pop the kettle on. I'm going to make you the most amazing fat burning energy tea you've ever had in your life. So you could also do it that way too. So you go off and make it, and then you come back. So let's go to the next one. So now we're going to look at the form. So once they've filled it out, I'm going to look at what they've written and have a look at what they've eaten and things like that. So obviously they fill it all out, and we'll go through this in a second. Actually, let me just go to this one. Okay, so this is Anne's. I cut off her name, but this is Anne's. So you can see not enough exercise. She gets tired in the afternoon. I go, okay, no problems. Kind of looking at what she eats. I can see she's definitely likes her carbs. She's definitely someone that likes it. With chocolate here. So, she's not really drinking. She's drinking 1 glass of water a day, but she's having, 4 to 5 cups of tea or coffee. Tea, here it is. And she likes a bit of white wine as well. So, I can see she's not skipping meals. But, and she's on Light and Easy, fantastic. I always say, well, if they can afford what Light and Easy, they're going to be able to afford Herbalife in my mind. This is what I'm thinking. And whatever they're on is great. Doing keto, great. You're doing fasting, fantastic. whatever it is, you've had the gastric band, that's awesome. Have we got people on Herbalife doing all those things? Yes, we have. So it's no problems at all. I can see she's not doing any exercise at the moment, so I can already see there's some things that we can be talking to her about. I've got her age. We may need to go and do her height. So if you're traveling to someone's house or you're at another venue, make sure you've got a tape measure to do the height and mark it out beforehand. Or even you could say to someone, could you please get your height before you come in, and get them to do it. So you could also do that, give them some homework to do. So then I often say here, if you know anyone else, so I'm always talking about referrals. And so we haven't done this bit. So let's go back up. Okay, so we've gone through the form. I do often say, if you know anyone else that would like a body scan, we would really love it. And it's up to you. You don't have to refer 3 people who get a body scan and get $5 off your order, but you can if you like. You can see from how many we did, 45 body scans. It's not very often that someone refers 3 people. But if they like getting a discount, well, maybe they'll have that incentive. So you can always highlight that. You can change the amount. You can do whatever you like. You could even have it that they get a sample of something instead. And then you put your name and number on the bottom here, because this you can edit this because it was a Word document. Okay, so let's go on to the next. Did anyone have any questions?
No.
Cool. And also up here, if they haven't written sort of what they want to lose or gain, it's okay. Most people know, like you'll find most people will circle something. And so I'm not, telling them what they're going to weigh. I know their goal now. So that will help me as well as we go along. I might ask them if they're doing anything currently to lose their weight. It just depends on how the conversation's flowing to how many questions I'm going to ask the person. You can tell, like I had one guy the other day and he just kept looking at his watch. I knew he was anxious and he probably really wanted me to do as fast as possible. So I was very conscious of that because Ross was with me as well. But some people are real talkers and you've just got to keep them on track so that you don't run over time if you've got another appointment booked. So you've got to be thinking about those things as well, that flow of information. So then we obviously take them over to the scales. Now, some of you have different scales, which is fine. So we can actually make up some documents it doesn't matter what scale it is, you can make up the documents for it. So basically I get them to take their shoes and socks off. I don't know who did we do the other day and the lady didn't want to take her boots off. And I'm just like, well, if you want the body scan, you've got to take your boots off. And then she's like, well, I'm not taking my socks off. I said, well, you're going to have to take your socks off too, because it doesn't scan through socks, maybe stockings, but not socks. So I did have someone have something around their foot, a bandage around the foot that had a magnet or something on it, and the scales definitely did not like those, and it didn't work. If someone's got a pacemaker, can't do the scales, and if someone's pregnant, it's not going to give them a good reading anyway, so technically they shouldn't really do a body scan until after they've had their baby. But make sure someone's got their shoes and socks off. If it's cold flooring, put a nice towel down and that sort of thing. And always have something you can wipe and clean the scales with for the next person as well. So basically you're going to arrow up and down to find the age here. So I press guessed on these scales. Then I arrow up and down depending on how old they are, and I press set. Then I go along here, it'll say male, female, male athlete, female athlete, and you arrow here down once for female and then press set, but it was female athlete. So tomorrow Pam Withers has got someone who is quite sporty. She's a fitness instructor. So you could probably put her as female athlete, which means you click this twice and then press set. And then you put in the height, up or down, press set, and then you check it all off, make sure everything's right. And then you go, great, because it goes to beeps, goes to 0, and you go, great. Now you stand with your feet evenly distributed. I'm just going to hold you steady because these scales need you to be perfectly still. And I've only had once where we actually had trouble getting someone to stand still. I think it was Megan and I had someone.
Yeah.
We got him eventually to stand perfectly still. And then you say, yeah, it's scanning now. And once it beeps, you can step off. So as soon as they hear the beep, because if they don't step off straight away, then you're trying to go through the readings and it could click off and you'll have to do it all over again. So they step off, you go, hey, you can put your shoes and socks on back on now, and I'll just get the readings. And then if there's two of you, you can help each other pick the scales up and put them on the table and then flick through. So this is the readings, obviously. You've got, so automatically it will tell you that your weight in kilos and your body fat percentage automatically. It always shows these scales show two readings. Then you'll click here for hydration, which is in percentage. Then you'll click, where's my clicky? My click here for muscle, which will give you two readings. So along the top here, it's one reading, two readings, three readings, just to help. Two readings will give you your muscle in kilos and your physique rating. Then it'll give you the basal metabolic rate, your BMR. Look, you don't have to cover this. If you don't want to cover calories and kilojoules, you really don't. You could actually skip this reading if you really wanted to. And then it also tells you your health age and your metabolic age. So yes, these do cap at 50, but I can kind of often do a guesstimation. I can assure you the next scales we get will go to 99 just to make it easier. I know, Cheryl, yours go to 99, so that's always helpful. I think Anne-Marie's got a set that go to 99 as well. So this button here gives you bone mass in kilos, and that's the weight of the minerals in the bones. And then this gives you your visceral fat levels, which is the hidden fats. So you can arrow up and down or click as many times to get it as you like. And then you're writing obviously on the form. So it goes to this one. So this is Anne. So we've gone through and written down all the readings. And now you're going to sit down next to them. So normally I kind of scoot a little bit closer so that I've got the color one that's laminated, and I've got this one next to it so I can write it as I'm going along. So let's do that now. So basically I'm looking at the body fat. So of course then I go to the colored one, and now I've done them in order that makes it much easier. So hopefully, I think who's Pam's doing the first one with the new forms tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And Cheryl, I can help make up some for your scales with this. So body fat. So I know that Anne's 90 now, so she would have been 89 here. So basically I'm looking back here, 40.8%. So I go looking around. Now, most people are going to know when they're obese, so no one really wants to be called obese, right? So she's probably excess fat or obese. So I don't go, oh my God, look where you are. Maybe Ross would do that, but I don't. I go, this is where the healthy range is here at 36, right? So this is where we're aiming for. And then I go back to this form, and on here I write, so the first goal is going to be to lose 5%. And that's going to help get you into that, towards that healthy range. So that's kind of how I speak. But it's up to you, like the way that you want to present. Ross is probably a little bit more blunt. Maybe he feels like if he's more blunt, they'll get on an ultimate program. I'm not sure, but we'll see. The next one I talk about, and when I'm talking about weight, sorry, I don't go straight to body fat. I go to weight. It's hard when you're not sitting at the table next to someone. I look at their weight to go, not what I'm going to tell them what to weigh, but how much water. So I know that every 30 kilos-ish, it's 1 litre of water. So Anne really needs to be hitting that 2 litres, and she's having 1 glass. Yes, she's probably getting some fluid out of here and her fruit and maybe a couple of other things, definitely not out of the wine. But, she needs to be drinking more water. So I said, look, the first goal, Anne, is 2 litres, but could you just get to 1 litre? Let's aim for 1 litre. That's your homework, okay? That's what we're going to do. So I put 2 litres as a goal, but let's start with 1 litre because she might even be able to hit that to begin with. Then I go to the body fat. Sorry, that was the next one where it's 5%. Then let's go on to hydration. So it's 40.3. So we go to the form here, and we're looking at the fact that healthy hydration's between 45 and 60. So I normally just go straight to healthy, but it's up to you. You can tell them, look, you're definitely dehydrated, but this is what we're aiming for. And 5%, that's a pretty good goal. 5%, you're going to be in the healthy range. So we need to increase this water here to help this happen. Okay. Then we go to muscle, and everyone knows that I go, this is your superpower. This is one of my favorite readings because it really talks about healthy aging. So let's go and have a look. So 38. So now I'm going to go to muscle. So we know that she's 80 plus. and she was 38. So she's definitely sitting in the healthy range. And like, this is awesome, Anne. You're sitting in the healthy range for your age group. This is so great. So what this means is that we actually want to keep this muscle on your body. So we need to make sure you're having more protein here, because I can't see a lot of protein. So maybe you could add in a bit of exercise here to help build muscle, just get more active, which I know she started walking with Pam Tyndall. And you could have maybe some recovery nutrition, or even instead of this tea and toast, because there's no protein in there, you could have like a Formula One for breakfast. Some sort of protein would be great. So I'm already starting to talk solutions with her, because I know that she actually started on a Formula One and two. That's what she chose. So then I look at the physique rating, which is 2. So we know that for 2, it's normally saying that she's a medium frame, bit of excess body fat, yes, but she does have some good muscle mass on her body. So that rings pretty true, but we'd like to get her to a little bit higher, maybe to 5, if we were able to, by putting on some extra muscle and leaning off some body fat, if that makes sense. So then we go back. So we've gone to here. Now, look, you could totally skip that. You could just say the basal metabolic rate. Look, we don't count calories, but this is just how many calories your body needs to stay alive. You can just say it like that and then move on. Don't have to talk about anything else. Then we go to metabolic age. So we know this is 50 plus, but looking at this, it probably would have been around that probably 70 mark. It's under her actual age anyway, because she was nearly 90 at this stage. So, of course, this form doesn't have that. So you can just say metabolic age is your health age, and basal metabolic rate is how many calories you need at rest. So you can just read it so that you're not getting stuck on the set of words, and then you can move on to the next one, if that makes sense. So then we go to bone mass. Bone mass is just the minerals inside the bones, the weight of it. So it's definitely not bone density, but it still relates to bone health. So we can see that she is under. So we go back to the form. Bone mass, she's 2, just down here. Can't even see that. Squint. So basically it was here. So it should be 2.4. Look, she's 89 at that stage when she did this body scan. So I can understand why it might be a little bit low, even though her muscle's good. It could be the fact that she's nearly 90. She's been through menopause. She's probably not eating a lot of protein and stuff at the moment. She wasn't doing any exercise. She's drinking. Alcohol doesn't really help. So I know that we could help this go up as soon as if she can gain a bit of muscle and by being more active and having more protein, this is going to go up, if that makes sense. Then we look at the next one is visceral fat, which I can already see is in just at the end of the healthy range here. So visceral fat is the hidden fats that sit around the organs, because sometimes people go, oh yeah, I've got my big fat tummy, because I often pat it. It's like, no, that's not visceral fat. Visceral fat, that's your body fat. Oh. Then you've got your abs, and then behind your abs, around all your organs, is your visceral fat. And we have a photo that you can share. Oh. So you can share it. So do you want me to mute you, babe? Cool. Then basically you just say it's 12, so you're in the healthy range, which is fantastic, but we could definitely get it lower. But yeah, that gets a tick. So everything that's positive gets a tick, because you want to build up there. You don't want to like totally devastate them. You're trying to look for some positives while you're showing that there's something to work on. So that's basically it. And then I go, do you have any questions? Some say yes, some say no. I've given them a fair bit of information. So then I go ahead and I fill this out. So I'm writing their name and the date. I write all the readings along here, and then I put them here, and I'm usually circling where I want them to be as I'm putting things in. Boop, 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 boop. So once I've filled it all out, then I come over here to action steps. So what do you think the action steps are going to be for Anne? Definitely some protein here in the morning. So more protein. She's not exercising at all. Start some exercise and drink more water. They're the things that I would be putting on her sheet here for action steps. More protein, more water, start walking or something like that. So that would be the 3 action steps, so that she can take that. Then on the back of the one they get, not the laminated one, but on the one they get this. and I call it the cheat sheet. So I said on the back's the cheat sheet, because I know we just went through a whole bunch of information with you, and they're probably not going to remember, so this is what you need to do. Now, if Anne said that she needed to lose 5 or 10 kilos, I'm definitely going to focus here. If you need to lose weight or reshape, we definitely would recommend one of our 3 programs, and we're going to show you what they are. Because we're consultants, we're going to recommend. If your body fat is high, which we know it was slightly high, some fat absorbing fiber like our chitosan, definitely adding in more protein. Like proteins pretty much gets mentioned almost every single one. To increase your muscle gain, which helps with fat burning. So we're definitely going to promote increasing your protein. If your hydration's low, she needs to increase her water intake. So you can even have a highlighter and highlight some of these things, or you could add in some electrolytes like our cellulose or our H24 hydrate. If your muscle's low, which it wasn't, but would still like you to keep your muscle on your body as you get older, we definitely would want you to increase your protein, like Formula 1 Sport or even one of our regular Formula 1s, add in some sort of exercise, and definitely do recovery nutrition after exercise, because even our 80-year-olds are doing this. Some like a mini shake after exercise or a rebuild or whatever it might be. Usually it's Formula 1 Sport. If your bone mass is low, which it was, we can talk to her about the calcium supplement. But I know if she's going to start walking, she's going to add in a Herbie shake and some multivitamins, and increase her water. This will climb up anyway. But I would definitely love her to be on at least, starting with some protein. If her visceral fat was high, but it wasn't, I could go through that as well. Visceral fat's basically add in some fat absorbing fiber like chitosan, increase your water intake, decrease bad fats, and increase good fats. So that's where some of the other products come in. If they're tired, which most people are, Herbie beverage is great for that. I go, how are you going with your sample? Are you enjoying it? And they'll either love it or hate it, or, I've had some people not like it. That's fine. But some people just like, wow, I really like this. I know Shauna's lady loved the tea, and that's what she wanted to get straight away because she loved the taste of the tea so much. So then I put my recommendations. So my first recommendation for someone that wants to lose weight. So what did she say? Where is she? She didn't circle it. I think she wanted to lose about 5 kilos because she has already lost weight. So here for weight loss, definitely a program, Kickstart, Ultimate, whatever you can choose. Just put a program. Then number 2 might be, okay, she needs to drink more water. Hey, how about having in some hydrate or some aloe or herbal beverage, give you a bit of energy and helps with your water, and definitely some protein after exercise. Would recommend Formula 1 Sport. Something like that. So I've put my recommendations on so she knows what products I've recommended for her. So she gets this copy to take home. Great. So then we're going to go through the resource pack. And I love this. So for Cheryl and Anne-Marie that are not at the center, you would have a list of maybe some of the things that you offer. Hey, we always offer free body composition scans. So if you know anyone, we have great challenges. We've got a 21-day challenge and a 7-day challenge. You can jump onto our online healthy morning teas and things like that. Obviously you take off that, but you definitely have income, and you can also earn extra income because people get such great results, and everyone notices. It's such a great way of being able to almost get your products for free, or you can eat for free. So you just click through that. So, and the reason why, and I'll probably end up taking this off too, is sometimes I take off the details. Why do I do that? Because I want them to contact me to ask me when Walk Fit's on. Because it makes them contact me one more time. The more times they're in contact with me, the more times I'm seeing them and sending stuff to them and talking to them and having conversations, the stronger the relationship builds. So this one I put Shauna's results on, so I can make up something like this for Anne-Marie and Cheryl as well, and it includes the things that you want to promote, if that makes sense. Cool. So that's the cover. That's the what's on at the center, or what we offer. Here's the cover letter. So most of you have your own cover letters by now, and if you haven't, I'll help you make them. So basically, this is just about us, and I've just put a little bit about my my journey on the products, Ross's journey, and then I've got that is a couple of our photos and things like that. So you could actually put your photos. I know most of you have got these, and you can add ours or anyone else's as well. I know Pam Withers has got Shauna's on here, so you can choose what stories you want to put on. So I think, Megan, have you got Shauna's as well? I think you do. So, because when I sat with you, yeah, I just got you to choose your before and after. So you can mix and match this as much as you like. So we can do that as well. So that's a cover letter. Oh, so this is when you get to share your story. So I know I've sat down and listened to you share your stories, which is great. So this, I like the way you do yours, Megan, where you say, this is a bit about me. And, I first moved to Gympie and, started having cuppas and bickies and didn't really know anyone. And, you just felt a little bit unmotivated. And I really like the way you tell your story. And then there was, you started coming to WalkFit, then you tried some of the products and then got hit by a car and then boop, 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 you've got this really great story. So this gives you the opportunity to share your story.
Yeah,
which is good. So, and you get to elaborate as much as you want on that. So then we talk about our difference is cellular nutrition. Basically, and back here, sorry, if you have your before and after photo, which I know Shauna does and Cheryl does, and so does Pam, there's quite a few before and after sitting on the table. You just pick it up and you share that story as well. So you can share the results. So I know Megan's got one from the 21-day challenge now, so Cheryl. So you could use them if you wanted to as well. Cool. So our difference is cellular nutrition that, but you also, the other point of difference is you get a coach and this amazing supportive community. So make sure you say that and include that. So let me tell you about what cellular nutrition is. You have these villi in your small intestine. When you eat food, it passes through and we should have these beautiful fingers, but most people don't. They're impaired and all broken off. So even if you're eating healthy, you might not be absorbing. So if you're going, oh my God, I'm not going to remember that, all you're going to do is read here. In our small intestines, we have villi. This is where nutrition is absorbed to our cells through stress, pollution, etc. The villi become energetically impaired. Even people trying to eat well find it difficult to absorb the nutrients out of the food we eat. So villi as finger-like structures along the wall of your intestine. They are essentially the gatekeepers. So you can actually read this if you want. You don't have to, but basically our formula 1 and 2, which is this complete healthy meal, helps to cleanse the villi, absorb more nutrients, and regenerate healthier cells. So you can just say that. You can say this. You can kind of choose how you want to do, but definitely do little fingery things. That's kind of cute. And just going that, the formula 1 and 2 and the aloe is amazing too, helps these villi, and then you get these great absorption and you feel amazing. You can lose weight, and that's basically how it works. It's just your body doing what it's meant to do. So you can come up with your own villi story and pitch. Maybe we can practice doing the villi thing as part of our practice session. And we could go through this. And we're also going to be doing this when we do our online and phone wellness evaluations as well. We're going to have to talk about the villi and what our point of difference is. So that's why we're so unique. We're not just like a product that you're just going to pick up in the supermarket. They actually get the community and they get the education. They're getting so much more.
Kelly, I'm going to have to jump off because Justin can't get a hold of Tori.
That's okay. No worries, babe.
Bye, guys.
Bye. So,
bye. Bye.
Oh, I love when that's in the recording. It's all good. So now we have our recipe sheet. So I want them to know that our formula 1s, whichever formula 1 you're using, you can make all these different ways. So you can eat it, you can drink it, you can be sweet, it can be savory. We actually have a whole bunch of savory recipes. You want to know how versatile these products are. And then from that, I just go, this is how you use the products to lose weight. If you've got a weight gainer or someone that doesn't need to lose weight just for good health, then you just say, hey, it's no problems. Same program, you just use it differently. And I do have a chart on that as well that you can send them. So to lose weight though, because probably 80% of people coming in are going to want to shred weight, like that's the reality. Basically you're having your water throughout the day and you can add in your herbal aloe and beverage and just drink it all day long. You can have your formula 1 for breakfast. You can put it in something you can eat or drink, have your tabbies, have a couple of snacks, have another one for lunch or mix and match it. Your main meal can flick obviously from a big breakfast to your lunch to your dinner. It can be totally flexible. and then you have something after exercise as well. So really you're getting plenty of protein. You're not going to be hungry. You're getting all the nutrition you need, and you're just going to feel amazing. So that's how you lose weight on the products. Then basically Nutrition Made Simple is these are all the products that are in our Kickstart program. And I probably will do one for the Ultimate program as well, just so you've got that there. But basically we're just, I'm missing the other 2 shakes on here. Anyway, I'll add that one. I didn't realize that they disappeared. So there is a Formula One regular and a select here, and they're all Formula One, which is all your macronutrients, and then your Formula 2 is your micronutrients. So that's your complete healthy meal, which is your cellular nutrition program. So everyone starts on this. This is the foundation of every single program we have. And then you've got your enhancers. You can add in a fat burning energy beverage, which you're just enjoying now. I hope you've really liked it. What did you think? Are you feeling a bit more energy now? Your herbal aloe, which is beautiful. It comes in all different flavors. It's so amazing for your digestive health and that nutrition absorption. And cellulose, very popular, fluid retention and centimeter loss and that sort of thing as well. So they're all our most popular products that make up our programs, especially our Kickstart program. Now then, because I haven't written prices on this, I normally hand it to someone to write prices. If I'm doing it on my own, could I put the prices on beforehand? Yes, just to save time, but generally I don't. The reason I don't is, one, if we have a price rise, I don't have to sit there and change it all. 2 is it's just something nice. It's like, they're not thinking, oh, these people aren't just trying to sell me stuff, like they're just only writing the prices on now. So it's a little bit of a psychological thing as well. So I just normally just put the price here for the each thing, so they know what it is. Just so that they, in their mind, they're starting to think about, oh, there is, I could buy something. So then I go through the Formula One Sport. Like I say, all of our Formula Ones, you can use all these different ways as a pre-workout, healthy meal, meal replacement, healthy snack, recovery nutrition after exercise, and dessert. They've all got 9 grams of protein, but they're called the perfect score of 1 on the PDCAS scale, which means you absorb every single gram into your muscles. This is really important. And yes, eggs, sometimes I mention eggs, have the same thing. So that's why I'm such a big fan of eggs, because that is also the perfect score of 1. And it's definitely going to help you with energy, cravings, and, really getting the results you need. This is like body fuel, basically. And if someone's going, oh, no, I can't have that because it's, they grab the can, it's got milk, and it's like, well, it's gluten-free and it's only 1 gram of lactose. So I have plenty of people that are lactose intolerant that can use this, no problems at all. But could I go to select if I needed to? Yes. Or the regular Formula One? Yes, I could as well. So that's that. And then I go through the program. So this is where I really want to focus and say, here's all the programs that we have. So the Ultimate program's the one Ross went on. They've seen Ross's result. He thought it was a load of crap and went on it to prove it wasn't going to work. And he lost 15 kilos in 3 months without exercise on the Ultimate program. So that's, it definitely worked. Then the Kickstart program, this is the one that Shauna went on to lose her 12.5 kilos, which is pretty cool. I started on something very similar. And the cellular nutrition program is the one Pam Withers, if I'm sharing her results. She was on a pension, and this is what she started with, and then she added things as she went along. So these are the 3 programs. They're all great, and they definitely help you get the good, the best results. And everyone gets one of these starter kits. And then I usually stop talking just for a bit while they're looking, because I've given them the sheet, so they're looking at it just in case, because I know Megan's lady Janet did this. She was looking, she kept looking at the thing. She was definitely looking at the Ultimate program because she was looking at the top of the sheet. And so it's always good just to give them that time, especially if they're one of those green personality types that need that time to process numbers and money and things in their minds. I normally just go, did you have any questions so far? And then I stop.
Which is hard.
It is hard, right? So how hard is it with the uncomfortable silence to not say anything? But some people really need it. Okay, you'll know if someone's not interested, like you'll know straight away. But if you don't give them that pause where you just let the silence go for a bit, and I don't normally just pretend I'm writing something down, or just go over to the kitchen, come back, like just give them a little bit of time. They're probably going to need it. You know, I know with Janet, she was like looking at it. She goes, well, Ultimate's the best program. I said, yes. And then she goes, it's a lot of money. I said, yes, it is. Just agree with it. And she said, but I really need to do something. This is what she said, right, Megan?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And then so then you could stop here and not do anything else on the information pack, because the rest could come in the process of the follow-up. So you could just say, is there anything that you would like to start on? Did you have any questions? You know, like ask those sort of things. If it's a no, you'll know, because they'll either go, oh no, I'm not ready, or I can't afford it, or I need to talk to my partner, or whatever it is. That's fine. It's really not a problem, but make sure you set the time to follow up. Now, if you are going through these next 2 sheets, just pause after the programs first, just and that's where, and look, I just say, hey, this is just our targeted products. This is the one you sampled. You sampled this one, and this is just a list of the targeted products that we have. And we can, because I know I've got recordings of product recordings and things like that. Michelle Sharp's training that's coming up. She goes through a whole bunch of stuff. You're going to love it. So we're going to have access to all those sort of things that we can send someone to listen to educate them anyway, so they can get educated on this as they go. I'm just saying, we've got lots of other products. Just thought you would like this to read through when you've got time. And definitely the referrals I like to focus on. By the way, our goal is to positively impact 10,000 lives in our area. Like, we want a big goal. What's our vision? What's our mission? You really want to put that out there. And, we would love to help the people that you care about. So, as you're going along, if you'd like to refer some people to us. So I know the other one had 3 with $5, but anyway, doesn't matter. Refer 5 and you can get $5 off your order. But, there's lots of different ways of being able to save money on your products and incentives as you go along as well. But we absolutely love referrals. We're a big referral business. That's what I tell people. We love referrals. We're a big and it plants that seed as well. Because remember, each person knows 200 people you don't know. And you need to be able to tap into that, and you'll never run out of people to help. So that is, I think, pretty much it. That is. So the targeted product sheet, you just go through very quickly. You don't even need to, unless someone was specifically saying to you about something, I would just say, this is what you sampled. You can read through this. If you were wanting to leave that out and send it at another time, that is perfectly fine too. You can narrow down your information pack to where it ends here, and then giving that time to process, and then going on to the referrals after that. But if someone gets started on, say they start on the cellular nutrition program, or Janet starting on the ultimate program, that I know when Janet comes in on Friday for her first lot of results, and maybe to walk fit, hopefully, Megan, when we do that, then
yep.
She's got a positive result and she's enjoying it. And then she's thinking, yeah, my husband might want to, so I'm going to be asking referrals anyway. Do you know what I mean? We're going to go, hey, who else do you know? Especially once she's got a positive result.
Yeah, so that's right.
The referrals come in the follow-up anyway. If she didn't start, say it was someone that didn't start, they went away, again, I'm still going to keep in touch with them and follow up anyway, and still ask them, hey, by the way, I know you mentioned someone that might want to do the body scan. Could I grab their details and get in touch with them? So make sure you're writing notes and you're following up on every single thing. You've got their email address. So can you send them about the 21-day challenge, or the healthy chocolate making, or anything else that's coming up, your business launch or anything, and invite them to the next thing that you've got coming along? Absolutely, you can do that. So did anyone have any questions?
No, I don't think so.
Awesome. Well, let's stop sharing, and then I'm going to finish recording. Give me 2 seconds. So thank you, everyone. I thought that was a pretty good training. I've got to find, I think it's here.